to the Metro on 1019 WDET FM. I'm Tia Graham. Now, some people, they need a little bit of an introduction, and others don't. Jalen Rose is one of those folks that doesn't need an introduction. The star from Detroit is probably best known for what he's done on the basketball court. He was one of the leaders of the University of Michigan's Fab Five basketball team in the 90s. Rose then went on to play for various teams in the NBA before becoming a broadcaster. But in addition to these accolades, Rose has been an advocate for educational equity. And in 2011, he started the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy Charter School in Detroit, which is now expanding to Royal Oak Township. He will also be speaking at an event today and tomorrow in Detroit as part of the State of the People Power Tour. To talk a little bit about the tour, his life in Detroit, and the people power community-based love that he has for Detroit, we have Jalen Rose.
What up, though? Thanks for having me.
What up, though? Jalen, so just jumping into things, what does it mean for you to be from the city of Detroit? How did Detroit shape you?
You know, Jay-Z once had a line in a song with Sauce Money. It says, "I'm what the game made me, not what the fame made me." And that's how I feel about Detroit. It's given me a foundation of discipline, of courage, of work ethic, someone that can find a way to persevere through challenges. You know, Detroiters, we really care about our style and our fashion and being game changers in so many different industries, and also loving each other, giving back to our community, dedicating our resources, our time, our energy, our money to uplift our people and uplift the community. So I'm just really proud of the work that's being done, and I'm happy to be a beacon for the city.
Yeah. So, Jalen, talk about attending Southwestern. We actually have a Southwestern alum out in the lobby with us right now at WDET. But talk about Southwestern, playing basketball there, surrounded by so many young, talented players.
And when you're a person from Southwestern come in there, make sure they say what I'm about to say, and everybody out there that know what it is, know what it is. Southwest, Southwest. Growing up in Detroit, I got a chance to stand on the shoulders of so many giants. My biological father played for the Pistons, was drafted number one in 1967. Dave Bing is my godfather. The Pistons are my favorite team. My mother got me into the sport. She combined my father's name, James, with my Uncle Leonard's name, and now Jalen has become a common name in the lexicon. Yes. Isaiah Thomas is one of our first classroom sponsors. Benny Johnson has been a sponsor. Dave Bing was the mayor when I started JRLA. Tom Gore is the current owner of the Pistons, is a friend of mine and a donor. Ethan Davison from the Davisons, who previously owned the team, is a supporter. So the Pistons and basketball and St. Cecilia and Sam Washington and the people I grew up watching, Derek Coleman, Steve Smith, Doug Smith, Anderson Hunt, Anton Jobert. You know, the list goes on and on of legends that have come out of Detroit. And so, as I mentioned, I stand on the shoulders of giants in basketball. And I want to shout out my high school coach, my father figure, my mentor, Perry Watson, because I'm not in this position without him.
And so, Jalen, let's move to Jalen Rose Leadership Academy, established in 2011 to provide quality education to underserved communities. What inspired you to launch the academy?
It was at a time, really, where I was disappointed, but I was inspired because Detroit in particular, we were closing schools and opening jails. And also, usually when schools get opened in urban climates, they're for pre-K or elementary, because while all philanthropic work is to be saluted, and we're very grateful for anybody that's ever dedicated anything for our community, it's a different young person that you're influencing from a third grader who has parental involvement and support, and you're trying to nurture them, to an 11th grader that has been exposed to a lot of things that happen in society. And unfortunately, many of them lose their innocence early, whether it's due to the internet or the television or sex, drugs, violence, gangs, what it's like to be from an urban environment. So those young people are underserved. So it's very important for me to not only create a high school, and I'm very grateful we're completing our 14th school year, but also have a 9 through 16 motto where we service our young people after high school, which I know your high school didn't do it, and nobody who's listening to it right now, their high school didn't do it either. Giving them resources, 2-year, 4-year college, trade school, military, cosmetology, whatever they decide to do, we're still there to offer support. And so I'm really grateful for what JRLA has accomplished and will continue.
And how involved are you with sustaining and growing the school? I mean, we have news that we're going to get to in a moment about another announcement you all have, but how involved are you?
Extremely. The president of the board, the founder of the school, a chief fundraiser. I'm driving there right now to work with Forgotten Harvest and State of the People, as you mentioned at the beginning of the interview, to give groceries to families in the community. So for me, it's a labor of love. It's a commitment and a dedication. I never left the city. So wherever you see me in L.A. working on TV or in New York doing multimedia stuff, I've always stayed 10 toes down here, so I understand the pulse of the people and a lot of the needs that hope to get accomplished. That's why teaming up with certain organizations locally like a New Era Detroit or getting support from a Platinum Equity or now supporting State of the People who are going to come here and do some amazing work today with not only resources and providing them opportunities to be exposed educationally, transportation and gas, therapy. The resources that's going to be provided are going to be incredible today at Wayne County community this afternoon. So I'm encouraging people to pull up and come support. And the thing is, it's free.
And that's the beautiful thing.
Definitely free.
We're going to get to
please
that
show
more.
up and come support.
We're going to get to that more. I really do want to get to that more, too. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about Jalen Rose Academy expanding to the old Henry Ford Hospital in Royal Oak Township. You know, what does that expansion mean for you?
That expansion means everything to me because initially we converted Vandenberg Elementary School into a high school, which means we've been able to service our young people academically and socially and in and out of the classroom, but our sports have suffered. We've been unable to play a high school basketball game because we have a caffeinasium gym. And I've also been unable to get young people further along at 9th grade because usually when I meet young people as an open enrollment, which means we're not a testing schools. So Cass Tech, Renaissance, King, those are testing schools before 9th and after 9th. We're not a testing school. We're not a magnet school. We're not cherry-picking students. So usually when I meet a scholar, my opportunity to influence their life has to be about growth because a lot of times they may be reading at a 5th grade level, doing math at a 4th grade level, and the system has already failed them. So it's important to try to put them in position to be successful in life.
And Jalen, we talked a little bit about it earlier, and you're talking about the young people that you're involved with, especially as you're expanding the Charter Academy. Talk a little bit about the popularity of your name and the impact you think you have with that name in order to continue to be a person that people look up to.
Well, that's the number one compliment that I can, I guess, take to my grave. A good friend of mine who I went to high school with, his name Tom Hopkins, he reminded me that that's not a shotgun decision. And if people don't like you, they're never naming their kid after you. And so people get a chance to think about that one. You got like at least 9 months to think about that one, right? Mom, dad, grandparents, brothers, sisters, cousins, the neighbor. Everybody get a chance to chime in on what the baby's name is going to be. So to have boys and girls and to be so many different races and religions and colors of young people named Jalen, it's just been a true labor of love and a real dedication to my mom.
I was about to say.
Who created the name. Because I didn't do anything, by the way. My mother created the name. If she would have named me James after my father or Jason, that wouldn't have hit the same.
No.
So I'm just glad she had some flavor and she switched it up. And all of a sudden it's become a name that is a common name. And A Detroiter created that name every time you hear it.
I love that so much. You're listening to The Metro on WDET, Detroit Public Radio. I'm Tia Graham. We're speaking with former NBA star and native Detroiter Jalen Rose about creating equity in communities. Jalen will be speaking at a People Power Tour here in Detroit today and tomorrow. So that's why I want to transition here now, Jalen, to the State of the People Power Tour. Why did you decide to join this particular event?
I decided to join State of the People because it's very impactful, and I appreciate Angela Rye and her team and their leadership of what they're trying to get accomplished to give back to inner cities across the country. It's a major city tour, kind of like a concert. I believe they're going to hit at least 10 different cities, and the impact that it's going to have is going to be credible. This is what I call like the charity that actually makes it to the hood. When you have Garland Gilchrist, you have Mary Sheffield, you have Eric Michael Dyson. There's so many people who love this city that care about continuing to grow what's happening in our community. And so to be able to be a part of this today and tomorrow, I want y'all to know it's today and tomorrow. The rally's tomorrow. Make sure y'all pull up. It's free. And it's going to be an incredible undertaking just to see us give back to the community, communicate with one another, see what the needs are. See, it's one thing to give back to the community. It's another thing to talk to the community, listen to the community, and see what the community's needs are. And that's what State of the Power Tour has done, will continue to do. And I'm really happy that they decided to bring it here to Detroit. As right now, I'm riding the JRLA literally because we're going to do a food giveaway, as I mentioned. And as you talked about tomorrow, it's going to be the State of the People activation during the day. It's going to be a Motor City Power Rally. And there are a lot of events just scheduled, live busing, pumping gas. People are going to get free gas. And so there's a lot of hand-to-hand things that are going to take place that they're trying to make happen.
Now, as we get down towards the end of the conversation, I do want to ask you about the state of Black voices and Black communities here in the city of Detroit. Where are you seeing them right now?
There are so many amazing voices, organizations, and people that have dedicated themselves to this city. A good friend of mine, for example, is Zeke Williams from New Era, Detroit. He's done his Hood to Hood tour for over 10 years. I actually was just with them on the west side a few weeks ago. We were just on the east side near Persian the previous weekend. And so it's just mud roots, as we call them, boots on the ground, spending time with the people, interacting with the people, giving the kids toys and basketballs and footballs and video games, and just really trying to put smiles on people's faces, put education on people's mind, put discipline in people's hearts, and try to do what we can to uplift this beautiful city.
And my last question to you, another person who's going to be a part of the State of the People Power Tour is Jamel Hill, Michigan State grad, Detroit native. Love her so much. So before I let you go, you are one of the biggest Detroit Piston fans. Jamel loves talking about the Pistons as well. Talk about what you hope to see next season for this young squad.
And make sure you get on Jamel because she's a Piston fan, but she ain't a Lions fan.
Okay.
I'm like, so that's another topic for another day. I'm like, you a 49ers fan? Oh, wait, they was winning Super Bowls in the 80s. Got it. Don't be one of them. Do not be one of them. But I love her. That's my sister. Her and her husband, Ian, came to our golf outing for the second year in a row. In all seriousness, she's done an amazing job of doing so many different things in sports and journalism and politics and creating a name for herself, creating a career for herself. So I'm very happy for her, proud of her, proud to call her family, and to have her voice and have her support this as well means a lot to the city, because I know a lot of people look up to her as well.
I'm one of those people who looks up to Jamel Hill. But before I go, what about the Pistons? What do you think that they need to do next year?
You heard G-Mac Cash. The Pistons won again.
Gonna go win again.
You know what I'm saying? All we do is win. I see we kicked the Knicks in the butt and got them propelled for the next round, right? Now they're in the conference final. I'm still mad about that Tim Hardaway foul on the left side when you could have won that game. And it's a big difference between down 3-1 versus tied 2-2. But we'll get healthy. We'll get Jaden Ivey back, who didn't play in that series. We get Isaiah Stewart back, who was in and out of that series. Cade continues to take the leaps that you see other young players around the league take. Look at the West. You see Anthony Edwards and SGA. In the East, you see Halliburton and Brunson. That's the leap Cade has continued and will continue to take with Detroit next year, and therefore it's going to propel us to another level. So I'm really proud of the team and what they accomplished this year. I'm happy for Tom Gores and ownership. I'm happy for the fans that we get a chance to celebrate the Pistons in the city.
I know, like you
said.
It's
so awesome to be able to do that.
The Pistons win again. I love that so much. Jalen Rose, thank you so much for joining us on the Metro today.
Love, 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 love. In Detroit, it's the perfect day to boss up.
Today and tomorrow is the State of the People Power Tour. It's a national campaign to empower Black communities. The 2-day event is happening at Wayne County Community College. You can find more information about the event at stateoftheppl.com/Detroit. From the WDET Newsroom, the EPA plans to rescind or delay Biden-era limits on PFAS in drinking water. Many studies have shown that the higher the level of PFAS in our drinking water, the more adverse health effects people could see. More than 300 nursing home employees held a one-day strike outside of 5 Cena healthcare-operated facilities, including spots in Detroit and West Bloomfield. The employees are members of the Service Employees International Union. They're asking for higher wages and benefits for employees outside of nurses, like housekeeping and maintenance. Cena officials are calling the strikes unnecessary and a distraction to contract negotiations. Coming up, journalists in conflict zones face increasing threats. In 2023, a journalist or media worker was killed or murdered an average of every 4 days. In 2024, it was once every 3 days. We'll listen to a conversation about a group of news organizations that has been investigating the unprecedented number of journalists killed in Gaza since the war started there. We'll be right back. This is the Metro. Stay right there.